Notes to financial statements. Alright, last component na ng financial statements, pero ito just as important as the others. Kung yung naunang apat ay halos tigi-isang page lang, minsan inaabot din ng 2 pages, depende sa dami ng accounts. Etong notes to financial statements ay maraming pages. Ito yung details ng company at details na din ng mga items na makikita mo dun sa naunang apat. Income statement, balance sheet, changes in equity, saka cash flow. So ano ba ang matatagpuan mo sa notes to financial statements at paano ito makakatulong sa decision-making process? So, sorry, wala akong example. Or wait, I let you see na lang yung na-download kong FS ng SSS. I'm going to do a series on SSS. That's why I'm studying their FS. Ito, downloadable from their website naman. So, ito yung buong financial statements, audited financial statements ng SSS. And submitted ito to the public, of course. So, ito, Commission and Audit, ang auditor ng SSS since ito ay government agency. So, last September 30, 2020, nirelease nila yung audited FS for the year 2019 ng SSS. Okay, so addressed to the SSS, ito yung kanilang report on the financial statements ng Social Security System. Okay, so meron dyan mga notes sila. And then, itong next part addressed to the President and CEO of the SSS. Basically, halos kapareho lang din nung laman ng nauna kanina, yung kanilang mga findings, saka recommendation on how to improve the presentation ng mga items sa financial statements ng SSS. Okay, and then they have their independent auditor's report. So again, I'm going to do a separate series on this. Pag-aaralan natin yung presentation ng kanilang financial statements. And then after that, part din siya ng complete set of financial statements. Pero this is like an affidavit or a statement of management's responsibility for the financial statements. Basically, sinasabi lang ng management na sila yung responsible for the preparation ng financial statements. Okay, not the auditor. Yung auditor, ay syempre taga-audit lang. Okay, and then after that, you have the face of the financial statement. So, yung ating statements of financial position. Ayan, 1 page lang yung kanila. Statements of comprehensive income or income statement or statement of financial performance. And then we have statement of changes in equity. And then yung ating statements of cash flows. Ayan, di ba isang page lang sila. And then we have, notes to financial statements. Medyo, when it comes to pag nagbabasa ka ng financial statements, minsan, of course, ang main point natin or main concern would be yung mga naunang apat. But yung mga details kasi, nitty-gritty details ng mga nakapresent din dun sa face ng financial statements is dito natin siya matatagpuan sa notes to financial statements. So, ano nga ba yung laman nito? So, we have yung general information, basically about the company, type of business or kind of business, and then type of organization, sole proprietor ka ba, partnership, corporation, or government-owned and controlled corporation, ang SSS. And then, nabanggit din nila dito kung paano sila na-establish, kailan sila na-establish, ano yung purpose nila ng kanilang pag-ooperate. Ayan, and then normally since this is SSS, basically based on laws, yung kanilang mga naka-include dito. And then yung kanilang mga programs, coverage, services na piniprovide to the Filipino people. Okay. And then general information on the performance or results of operations ng kanilang agency. Ayan, and then second note na to, number 2 na. Pero depende sa company, yung pagkakasunod-sunod ng kanilang notes. Pero, normally, una talaga is yung background information of the company. Second is, accounting policies. Ayan, so you have your basis of preparation ng financial statements. In accordance ba siya with PFRS or PFRS for SMEs, kung SME yung company. Ayan. And then, since sila ay GOCC, or Government-Owned and Controlled Corporation, so sumusunod din sila supposedly dun sa regulations as issued by the Commission on Audit. Okay? Ayan. And then you have your presentation of FS, basis of measurement, and fair value measurement kasi sila ay parang fund manager sila, di ba? And then fractional and presentation currency in Philippine Peso, estimates and judgments for sa kanilang mga allowances, estimates ng impairment and losses, tapos useful lives ng kanilang PPE, and then yung methods na ginagamit for depreciation. Then you have your provisions, and yung mga impairment pala allowances for doubtful accounts, ganyan. And then we have events after reporting period. Ayan. Di ba, etong FS na to, this is for December. For 2019, from January to December. Pero since na-issue yung report is September na, 2020. So yung mga events after December 2019, that may affect yung mga information dito. Merong mga significant events na nangyari. So those will be included pa rin later. Siguro later, may separate note siya. Pero dito, since accounting policy, aling events yung i-report nila. Okay, so naka-state lang dito. And then, adoption of new and amended PFRS and interpretations, and effective in 2019, relevant to the system. Not relevant to the system, in-included, para alam, kasi kumbaga, the readers of the information or yung users ng FS, they might think na applicable siya sa FS nung SSS, pero upon looking dito sa notes to FS, malalaman nila na, okay, hindi pala in-apply ng SSS yung standard na yon or interpretation na yon in preparation nitong kanilang FS. Okay, so dito nila yon makikita. So, kung merong doubt yung user of financial information, and, di ba, tatanong sila, did they apply kaya yung new standard or yung revised standard sa kanilang FS? So, they can check dito sa part na to sa notes to FS. Okay? And then, doon nila malalaman, hindi nila in-apply. Okay? So, ganito yung magiging approach ko when reading the FS. Or, kung in-apply nila, edi, again, different approach compared dun sa kung hindi nila in-apply. Alright? Annual improvements, effective subsequent to 2019 but not adopted early. Ayan, mga changes din in the accounting standards. Effectivity deferred indefinitely. Kumbaga, hindi muna nila in-apply. Financial statements, financial assets, date of recognition, and initial recognition. Determination of fair value, ano yung ginagamit nilang method. Classification, financial assets at FBTPL, fair value through profit or loss. Financial assets at amortized cost. Financial assets at fair value through other comprehensive income. And then you have your impairment of financial assets, the recognition of financial assets. And then you have your cash and cash equivalents, inventory. Basically, kung ano yung mga items na matatagpuan sa statement of financial position, kung ano yung mga in-apply na standards to them, dito mo siya matatagpuan din. Kasi ito yung summary ng accounting policies na sinundan nila in preparing the financial statements. And investment property, PPE, construction in progress, meron din, intangibles, impairment of non-financial assets. And then you have your revenue recognition, members' contribution, interest and penalty income, dividend income, rental income, and then you have your expense recognition. They have leases, related party disclosures. Tapos ito na. After yung mga accounting policies and accounting estimates or judgments, next na yung schedules supporting yung mga items na makikita sa face ng financial statement. So, di ba, cash and cash equivalents, matatagpuan natin to sa balance sheet. Okay, so ito yung support. Doon sa balance sheet, yung pinakang total amount na lang yung makikita mo. Yung breakdown niya, andito sa notes to FS. Okay, you have your cash on hand, cash in bank, tapos cash equivalents. Ayan. Tapos yung total, ito yung total din na makikita mo dun sa balance sheet. So, kailangan ay equal sila, kasi support lang to, schedule to with regards to that. Okay? Tapos, details din, mga changes. Kung minsan, kapag very significant yung difference from previous year to current year. Minsan merong mga additional explanation dito sa baba kung bakit ganun yung nangyari. Okay? Or any other pertinent details na affecting the account. Okay? Dito rin siya matatagpuan. And of course, a little summary of the figures in here. Okay? Normally yung total, in-state ulit siya dito sa baba. Okay, then we have financial assets. Ito yung breakdown niya. Consists, ito yung composition. Ayan. Current financial assets. Ayan, mga FA at FBTL. FA at amortized cost. Ito yung kanilang mga breakdown. Government securities, equities, or stocks. Externally managed fund. Tapos meron silang investment in mutual fund. Tapos dito sa baba, they have government bonds, corporate notes, corporate bonds. Okay? And then, again, comparative previous year and current year. Ayan. So, halos madoble, no? 37 billion from last year, naging 64 billion in 2019. So, ayan, mayroong additional explanation sila dito. And then they also have mga notes, supporting statements. Ayan. Then they have mutual funds and current financial assets. Next, other investments, receivables, breakdown then, loans and receivable accounts, lease receivable, other receivables. And then you have measured at amortized cost, other receivables composed mainly of, okay, so you have your other receivables here sa taas, tapos dito sa baba, meron pa rin siyang separate breakdown, other receivables composed mainly. Kasi very, if you would notice, yung amounts na involved dito is in the billions. Kasi, di ba, SSS operating nationally, serving all the Filipinos that are working and contributing to the fund. So, very imperative talaga na as much as possible, yung items are broken down into their specific accounts pa. Okay, so you have your impairment loss for loans and receivables. Ayan. Impairment on interest receivable, on operating lease, on other receivables. And then you have your accrued interest and penalties. Naka-classify din siya into the different types of interest receivables, yung source, Ayan. And then you have your non-current receivables, member loans, pension loans, housing loans, commercial and industrial loans, program member assistance for development and entrepreneurship, ayan, business loans, I think. Alright, and then yung interest nila, interest rates. Okay, and then mga changes siguro na recently lang nangyari. So, ito, meron silang on March 7, 2018. Ayan nangyari. Educational Assistance Loan Program. Ano yung updates? Ano na yung current status niya? Pension loan. And then you have your loan to other government corporation. Okay. So, mga yan. Naka-include din additional information. Okay. Kasi, definitely, this, you cannot find this dun sa face ng financial statements, yung apat, income statement, balance sheet, changes in equity, saka cash flow. So, yung pinakang details talaga ng mga nangyayari inside the business or the organization is dito mo siya makikita sa notes to financial statements. So, it's very important na kung yung mga nakita mo dun sa face of statements, you have to check ano yung details nila so that you would be better informed in your decision-making process. Okay? So basically, if you compare this to a private corporation's FS, halos ganito rin naman yung presentation niya. But essentially, syempre yung details na ipoprovide would be dependent on the operation ng particular business na nag-present ng audited FS niya. Okay? So, yan. Pero yung pagkakasunod-sunod, halos ganun din. Background, accounting policies and estimates, and then you have your schedule supporting yung mga items sa face ng financial statements. Ayan, you have your inventories and current assets held for sale. Other current assets, investment property, since meron yan ang SSS. Pero again, itong part na to would depend on what's shown in your face to financial statements. Kung wala naman yung item na yun, edi syempre wala. Hindi rin siya mag-appear dito sa notes to FS. You have your PPE, you have your intangible assets, and breakdown niya, additions, retirement, transfer, amortization for the period, retirement or disposal or cancellation, and tapos ending balance, of course. And then you have your other non-current assets, financial liabilities, okay, liabilities part na. And then you have your inter-agency payables. Meron silang due to BIR, to GSIS, to PhilHealth, to Pag-ibig, to SSS, and to LGUs. Okay, you have your trust liabilities din dito. Kasi as a fund manager, meron silang trust funds din siguro. I will check on those details and then in preparation for the series I'm going to do on SSS. Okay, then we have deferred credit and earned income, provisions, other payables, equity, and additions, deductions. Dito medyo may question ako with regards to this. Na-browse ko na to before, especially yung phase to FS. Medyo, hahanapan pa. Okay, I might find other information here on the notes. So, yan. And then we have comparison of key projection results. Okay, since sila ay fund manager kasi, diba? They invest yung contribution ng mga members, tapos hopefully it earns. Kasi kung tinutulungan yung mga members for their insurance, pag nagkasakit, diba? Merong sickness benefits. Pag namatay, merong death benefits. And of course, pag nag-retire, di merong pension or retirement benefits. Ayan. So, in a way, ang SSS kasi is stewardship ang type ng business niya. Okay? Yung pera ng taong bayan, ini-invest nila, hoping to increase the value. Tapos, of course, yung pang-operating nila, tapos pang bigay sa mga nag-retire na or sa mga nag-claim no other benefits that they are providing to the members. Okay, so meron silang mga projection, syempre, depending on the decisions that they are making sa pag-manage nila ng funds. Okay? So, ayan. Comparison, key projections, updated valuation, and then you have your evaluation surplus, service and business income. I have a question here for that. Anyway, watch out for the series on SSS. Actually, I'm planning to do a series on SSS, PhilHealth, and Pag-ibig. And maybe other government agencies as well. Pero syempre, ito yung medyo may personal interest din ako since, member tayo nitong mga agencies na to. Okay? So, it's good na malaman natin kung ano yung nangyayari sa loob. Or yung mga figures that they are presenting to the public. Or what does this mean for us? Okay, and then you have your gains, other non-operating income, benefit payments. Ayan, ito yung mga benefits na makukuha mo sa SSS if you're a member. Retirement, death, maternity, disability, funeral grant, sickness, unemployment, medical services, and rehabilitation services. Ayan. And then personal services, ito yung bayad nila sa kanilang mga empleyado. Okay, so in a way, diba, nakakatulong din kasi maraming nabibigyan ng trabaho ang SSS. But, hopefully, itong pinambabayad sa personal is na-earn sana nung fund, hindi yung kinukuha mismo dun sa fund na kinocontribute ng mga members. Okay? Hopefully. Okay, and then we have our maintenance and other operating expenses. Ganun din, my hope is the same, na yung earnings ng fund na in-invest nila is yun na yung magpupuno sa mga expenses nila para yung pinakang contribution ng members is hindi sana nagagastos. Okay? Na talagang investment siya na nag-earn. Although, di ba yung earnings, yun na lang yung bawasan nila ng for the expenses. Just a hope. Kasi normally banks, that's how they work. So yun, magkakaroon ako ng comparison din between banks and SSS in the series. So wait for the series. Okay, then you have financial expenses, non-cash expenses, cash assistance and subsidy kasi diba meron silang educational assistance loan program for the members, and lease commitments, related party disclosures, at mga information about their commissions, board members, and ito yung parang BOD, board of directors or board of trustees, or commission ang tawag, Social Security Commission. And then ito yung kanilang key management personal remuneration, di ba? 70 million ang binayad natin sa kanila. Okay, ng SSS, ng mga members. Ayan. Then we have our financial risk management, since sila ay fund management, di ba? Ito yung mga principles that they abide to ensure na yung contributions ng members is hindi naman masayang and they are able to earn and to avoid din yung mga risk na baka mamaya yung contributions ng member is in-invest tapos mga nalugi lang. Okay, so that's not what we want. So they have this financial risk management to ensure na mag-earn yung funds ng mga members. Yeah. So, very different, all types of risk binanggit dito. And then we have restatement. Ito ay in case na merong change in accounting policies or accounting estimates. So, merong restatement na nangyayari. Or, since, diba, normally, yun yung estimates din sila, nagpo-project lang din naman sila sometimes. Diba, yung mga fair values din. Ayan, so, restatements. So, in-explain din dito sa part na to. And then, events after reporting period, ano yung mga nangyari? Since yung report is December 2019 ang end, so, na-issue itong audited FS ay September 2020 na. So, yung events from January before, up to the point na before issuance nito. So, in-include din dito. Especially mga changes in policies or changes in the services ng SSS. So, naka-provide dito. On the part ng private corporations or other types of businesses, so ganun din, if may mga major changes that might affect the decision-making process ng users of information, especially mga potential investors, current investors, saka yung mga creditors, current and potential creditors din. Yeah. So, naka-include din dapat ito yung mga events after reporting period na merong major impact on the business. And other matters, compliance with tax laws. Status of lawsuits, meron silang mga either kinasuhan. Mga nandito ata is mga kinasuhan nila for claims. Ayan, so normally ganyan yung itsura ng ating notes to financial statements, and yun na nga, main point nito is to provide more details that would help us in our decision-making process. Normally, breakdowns. With regards to the items in the face of the financial statements, edi breakdown ng mga items na yan para mas makita natin, okay, saan ba mas malaki yung amount na pinanggalingan ng income or saan yung pinakamaliit? With regards to the decisions, edi should we focus more on this activity or in that activity, or should we stop doing this? Kung maliit lang din naman yung income na gagaling sa kanya, should we try another one? Okay, with regards to expenses, edi of course, alin dito yung controllable, non-controllable, alin yung pwede nating i-control, paliitin, alin yung hindi talaga kaya, okay, alin dito yung pwedeng tanggalin na natin, hindi naman nakakatulong or hindi naman nakakapag-contribute in increasing our net income, ganyan. Okay, so, and then, of course, mga other details, of course, accounting standards, policies, and estimates, na nakaka-affect din on depending on how you read the face of the FS. So, dito rin matatagpuan sa Notes to Financial Statements. Basically, it's supporting those, supporting the face of the FS, and also giving you an inside look into the operation of the business. Okay, so yun yung importance itong ating Notes to Financial Statements. So that's it for this video. Thanks and bye.